It's an historically hideous season.
It's our 100th ugly house.
And if these walls could talk.
Do you cry a lot?
I do.
Ugliest House in America season premiere Wednesday at 8 on HGTV.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire an energy vampire. But also, they're a literal vampire. And suddenly, my team is spending all their time sharpening wooden stakes and buying bulk silver and rehearsing ancient chants, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant takes insights from over 1 billion professionals to create a short list of the best fits for you. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
He asked me $750 cash. My eyes blew up. I said, $750? What, you think? I cash, not even credit card, not even check. I said, what, you think I'm a drug dealer?
This is the plaintiff, Alex Edemadfer. He says he was driving his dump truck one day and it died right in the middle of the road. The defendant was called by the police to tow him, and when he asked how much the tow would cost, the defendant told him, don't worry, because he was a businessman. Well, when the businessman defendant presented him with a $750 bill for the tow, he almost had a heart attack, because the tow was only 10 miles for crying out loud. When he protested the amount, the defendant took off with his truck. He's suing the criminal here and now for $5,000 for loss of work and legal fees. This is the defendant, Frank Kalka. He says the driver charged the plaintiff $200 for the emergency tow, and the plaintiff said he'd only pay $100. When his driver refused to accept the $100, he told the plaintiff he was going to have to tow it back to his shop, and that would cost another $200. The stubborn plaintiff then arrived at his shop, flipped out, the cops were called, and he was promptly arrested. Some people are really nuts. Owe him $5,000? No way. He's accused of a low-blow tow.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Alex Edemadfer.
Yes, Honor.
Okay, you're suing Bill's Service of Stamford, represented here by Frank Kalka. Are you the owner?
I'm the manager, ma'am.
You're the manager. Okay, and you have permission by the owner to be here?
Yes, I do.
All right, you're suing them for $5,000 for loss of work, legal fees, storage and towing charges, and more legal fees. Okay, tell me what happened.
Yes, back on June 19, I was driving my dump truck in Route 106, and the dump truck stopped. So the officer came, he said, you have to pull it over on the side because it's blocking the road. So
what kind of dump truck?
It's a F550 Ford dump truck.
Okay.
And I park on the side.
Take a picture of it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so go on.
When they came, the gentleman, he wants to hook the car. Already I explained for them how much it's going to cost me, because it's very important for me how much it's going to be. He said, we are the same business, we're doing business back and forth, don't worry about that, I'm going to take care of you. And the officer
Wait, why wouldn't you guys just agree on the price if you're standing there and you know where it's being towed to? It's not like a mystery. Why, it's just a mathematical calculation.
Because what happened, they don't know how much mile it's going to be. That's, I guess, the way they do it. The officer said...
But they can figure it out. I mean, all right.
He never told me. I asked him a couple of times. He never told me how much it's going to be. So we went like 10 minutes ride, and by the time I'm over there, he asked me $750 cash. My eyes blew up. I said, $750? What, you think? I cash, not even credit card, not even check. I said, what, you think I'm a drug dealer? This is crazy. So the guy, he said, okay, let me, because if I don't do, my boss is going to chew me.
Who, I'm sorry, are you the person who towed it?
No, ma'am.
Is the person who towed it in court?
No, he's not available.
Why is he not available?
He's busy working, ma'am.
But how are you going to contradict what that guy said to him?
I can just go by what my driver told me, because our
We
rates
have a name for that. We call it hearsay. So according to you, they're telling you $750.
And it's like a grocery bug with me, $650,
Okay.
$550. I said, I have $150. I was desperate to get my truck because this is the bread and butter for my family. If I don't have truck, I don't make money. So he said, go down, and then I'm gonna call my boss. He tricked me, and he took the car back to Stanford to this gentleman's shop. And then I went the next day.
Okay.
I went over there.
And what happened then?
And then they changed their story.
Okay.
They said I'm lying. They never asked me $750. They
Was
asked,
the guy who you spoke with that day, who you say asked you
No,
seven? Wait, I
no,
haven't asked my
he
question
wa-
yet. Wait a minute.
Apologies.
Was he there at the
Apologies.
counter when you were talking to them? So there, who was at the counter? He's at the counter?
So I went to the police department. I explained for them. I scared from this guy because the arm they have is like my leg. Big guy with the tattoo, the guy, the driver.
Okay.
So I went to the police office department and I explained for them, would you please come with me?
They're not going to come.
They're
with
not
you.
coming.
Okay,
Nothing
so, so what's the bottom line? You picked it up
I
when?
went over there to pick up the car. So they called, they said, I went over there to fight. I was like dressed up like that and I was in my Mercedes.
Go ahead.
And officer came over there, arrested me.
Wait. We're skipping something huge. How did you end up getting arrested?
So we go over there, and then we said, sorry about my, I don't want to say bad words, out of my business. This
But
gentleman.
what were you saying or doing at that moment that would cause him to say at that moment, get out of my business? Okay, I have a feeling I'm going to hear a very different story from that side. What's going on, according to you, that would end up requiring the police?
All right, Your Honor, when we were called out by the Decatur Police Department to tow his vehicle, our rates are set by the state of Connecticut for a medium-duty rate, $200 per hour.
Right.
We got to Norwalk.
The problem is, it's not a matter of, we're not trying to figure out what you can charge. We're trying to figure out what you did charge.
What I
We're
did
trying to
charge-
figure out whether your
what I did
guy is
charge-
telling him a price that's higher than what. Can you
my
hear me
original-
talking?
Hold on,
You do hear me
hold on.
talking,
Yeah.
right?
Sorry, Your Honor.
The question is, what did your guy actually say at that moment? Because I got to make sure your guy's not trying to extort people whose cars or trucks get towed according to city fiat when their cars or trucks break down or in a car accident or whatever. Usually I get a chance to cross-examine the fellow and decide whether I trust him or not.
I could only go by what my driver told me. He told me when he got there, he told him it was $200 per the state rate. He told him the tow wasn't worth $200. It's only worth $100. That's all he pays from his country. So I told him if he doesn't want to pay the $200, bring it back. So now he incurred a $400 bill.
When did it become $400? That moment?
When-
on that
when it was
Sunday
towed back to my shop when he refused
that was
to pay
a
the bill.
Sunday? Everything happened on
on
Sunday.
6/19, yes.
So when that happens, he doesn't come to see you right away.
No, a few days passed by, Your Honor.
Right, and so you've attached storage fees.
Yes, $24 a day for the first 5 days, then he finally called. And at that point, it was $120 for the storage.
Okay, go
So he
ahead.
kept calling us, harassing us, threatening myself and other guys down there, so.
How was he calling, threatening, and harassing, and threatening you guys?
Oh, he's calling me all kinds of derogatory names, that I'm
Like
a
what?
crook, I'm a thief, I'm a no-good SO, so on and so on. So finally, when he came down on the 28th, we had to have him arrested because he
So-
was making such a scene in my office.
Okay, tell me about the 28th.
On the 28th, he came down, and at that point, the bill was $400 for the storage, $400 for the tow, and the tax came to $850. He said, oh, you're robbing me, you're robbing me.
Can you hold on one second? Why is it that you didn't see? Sometimes you got to stop the hemorrhaging and then worry about it later. And most people figure that out on day 2, not on day 10. How long was it there?
15 days, Your Honor.
15 days. Why didn't you just take care, because you're suing now for $5,000 and loss of business and everything else. Why didn't you just take care of it and sue, just like you're doing now, but do it on day 2 or day 3 as opposed to day 15? Why did you leave it there for so long?
That's absolutely a smart question. Whenever we try, we go with money, always was excuse.
No, stop. That's not true. Because what you were trying to do was pay less, and they would not let you pay less. So according to you, you had to call the police that day because what?
He was threatening me, refusing to pay the bill, and police came in, and they had to handcuff him, take him out, because that's how.
But what did the police see him do that they would handcuff him and take him out?
Well, he also got in a little tussle with one of the police officers. That's why they handcuffed him and took him out.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. Contempt of cop? Did you get into a tussle with a police officer?
No.
Yes, he did,
What are
right
you
in front of
saying
my
happened?
business.
Where's the police report?
I went to court to get it. They said, we're going to give it to your lawyer. You're not a lawyer, we're not going to hand it to you.
Do you know what he was actually charged with?
Yes, he was charged with harassment, second degree,
What are you looking at?
Judicial branch
Let me see
printout.
that. Let me see that. Breach of the peace, threatening, and harassment. So your criminal case is coming up in a couple weeks, right?
Yes, Honor.
Okay. Do you have any paperwork from the original tow?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Can I see it?
This is the original invoice.
Of course, that's something that was just done at your office. That was
Yeah, he
never given to
refused
the
to sign
client.
it when he picked it up.
So what he did pay for on that day was $200 to the tow to his location, $200 to the tow to your location, so that's $400, plus storage fees for the 15 days.
Yes, ma'am.
Was there zero paperwork created until the guy came in with the $850?
No, it was the original invoice from the original tow.
Yeah, but there isn't an original invoice from an original tow. This is what's done when he comes in
Oh,
that
when he came
includes
in
the
to pick
storage
it up.
fees. So
You're
do you
right.
have it? I repeat my question. Do you have any original paperwork from the original tow?
No, that's all I have, Your Honor. We usually write the invoice when they come to pick the vehicle up.
Okay. Court's in recess.
All rise. Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Are tow truck drivers generally dishonest?
I don't believe they are.
You think it's just a bad generalization?
I do.
What do you think, sir?
No.
You guys are being so generous. Okay, ma'am.
No, I don't think they are dishonest.
Okay, fair enough. I got to come over here. You guys are going to a party? What's going on?
Yeah. She's the Queen of Guatemala. No, I'm not.
Okay, well then what are you? If you're not the queen of Guatemala, you got a crown.
She's the Queen of Guatemala.
Okay, we'll solve this mystery later. We're going inside the courtroom.
Okay, let's talk about a couple things. You're suing for loss of work for 10 days because the dump truck was there for 15. That's on you, that's not on him. He doesn't have to pay you $2,500 for your loss of work when you made the decision to keep the truck there while you kept trying to negotiate it and the clock kept ticking on the storage fees. You want him to pay you $1,500 for a criminal lawyer because you got arrested. But your charges are still pending. I have no idea what's going to end up happening with that. Then storage and towing fee overcharge of $700. That's interesting. I am very disturbed that you do not bring me the person who he claims was gouging him. Because everything happened as a result of what he claims is the original gouging. It's entirely possible your guy was telling him a bunch of, and cash, you know, I mean, you know, I don't know. So here's my inclination. Your loss of work is on you, and your legal fees, I think, are premature, because unless you're able to prove that not only you win in that, but that it was malicious somehow, you know, you really can't collect legal fees. I don't know what happened there. Nobody brings me the police report. I have no idea what's going to happen because your case is coming up in a few weeks. So what I'm going to do with the criminal lawyer fees is I'm going to dismiss without prejudice to you bringing up at a later time if, in fact, you win that case. So what that leaves me with is the tow and the storage charges. The tow charges are $400. The storage charges are $400, and the rest of that $50-80 is tax. The storage charges are on you because you decide how long you're going to end up keeping it there. But man, I'm uncomfortable with the fact that you did not bring me the tow truck driver.
Apologize, Your Honor. I didn't think.
Yeah, he's the guy with all the evidence.
I never had to come to court before. I should have thought ahead.
Yeah. Most tow truck companies bring the tow truck driver. And I'm really uncomfortable with it because I think it's entirely possible that this individual quoted something higher than 200, just like the only testimony in my courtroom says he did. I'm going to order you to return $425.40, which would represent the tow. Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, here's the defendant after learning the plaintiff will collect something, and you might be back in court with him if he wins that court case, suing you for the legal fees after that.
Have to see what happens. I hope not.
Does that concern you?
No, it doesn't concern me because I'll make sure I bring proper people to back up what we got to do. I never was in court before, so I wasn't quite sure what to do with it.
That's why you didn't bring the driver?
If I knew that, I would have brought him.
Mm-hmm. So when you go to court for that next case with him, you're bringing that driver, right?
You better believe it. Also, the witnesses that were in my office when we had to have them arrested.
Yeah, good idea. Okay, all right. Right down this way. All right. So that means the plaintiff might face a little bit stiffer defense when you go to court on those criminal charges.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because they know this truck is my bread and butter, and each day I make money, and they hold it. It wasn't like I didn't want to go to pick it up. I know each day is going to cost me.
Why'd you leave it there that long?
I tried many times to go over there, not to negotiate, to give them the money.
So did you lose your temper a little bit when you were...
No, sir, no. I play soccer professional. This gentleman is a coach. We have an old soccer.
Coach, does he ever lose his temper on the field? Get a little bit?
Never lost his temper.
Is he a good player?
Maybe a little bit.
Little bit? You lose it a little bit?
No, in the soccer.
Okay.
But
When you cross
never
the
in the
yellow
game.
line.
All right, Harvey.
Okay, look, if you have a witness who's essential in a lawsuit, you got to bring that person to court, at the very least a notarized statement. But without that person, it is simply rank hearsay. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
The Subaru Share the Love event is on from November 20th to January 2nd. During this event, Subaru donates to charities like Make-A-Wish, helping grant more than 3,900 wishes so far. When you purchase or lease a new vehicle during the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru and its retailers will make a minimum $300 donation to charity. Visit Subaru.com/share to learn more.
Hi, it's Will Cooley from the New York Rangers.
Cooley scores!
Ring in the new year with me in Miami. The NHL Winter Classic is coming to the Sunshine State. Watch as we take on the Florida Panthers in the 2026 Discover NHL Winter Classic in Miami. Catch all the action on January 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern on TNT and HBO Max. That's January 2nd at 8 p.m. on TNT and HBO Max. For tickets and more info, visit nhl.com/winterclassic.
This is the plaintiff, Anthony Savinelli. He says he was hired to dig a water well on the defendant's property. He charges $9.50 per foot to drill and dug a beautiful well, 375 feet deep for the defendants. But there was no water. He went down another 75 feet, still no water. Next thing he knows, the defendants are accusing him of drilling in the wrong spot, are refusing to pay him for his services, and that's why he's here, seeking the $4,362.50 he's owed. These are the defendants, Brian and Gwen. Brian says he hired a dowser to find water on his property, marked the area with a stake, and when the plaintiff came to drill, he missed the spot by a good 5 feet. The plaintiff didn't drill on his property in the right place, didn't find water for his well, and he's not paying him a penny until he does. They're accused of being high and dry when it comes to payment time.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff was hired by the defendants to dig a water well, but got stiffed because it was a dry well. The defendants say the plaintiff missed the spot by 5 feet. It's the case of X marks the spot, stupid.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay. Savinelli Well Drilling Company, represented here by Anthony Savinelli. You're the owner. You are suing Brian and Gwen. You've asked not to use your last names. We'll respect that for $4,362.50 that you say they owe you for drilling a well on their property that did not hit water. But you say that's no fault of yours. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, I met with Gwen on her property, and they already have 2 wells there that are not functioning.
Because they dried up?
They're dry. They're not working well. They actually have to hire, I guess, a tanker to fill them up occasionally so they have water for their house. So sometimes people use a dowser to locate water on their, well, a likely spot to get water on their property.
What's a dowser?
A dowser is someone that walks around with a cherry stick, brass rods, they walk across the ground, and they'll move. And supposedly where they move and they pull hard is where the water vein is.
What moves? The rods?
The rods do, yeah.
Okay.
All right. And
Hold on one second. Tell me about this process, because this isn't very traditional, right? This is kind of, I mean, it's age old, but it's. Did more scientific techniques not work for you?
Well, we've had a dowser in the past that found water for one of our wells. So we were trying to dig a third well.
So how does this dowser do what they're doing?
So she walked across my yard with her sticks. And when
A stick in each hand?
Yep. And it's kind of like an L form. And when she walks across the property, when she comes across the water, the sticks cross.
By their own accord?
Yes.
Why do they do that? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay. Let's talk about, well, the bottom line is you dug, there's no water, they won't pay you. That's why you're here in court today.
Correct.
But what I want to do is I want to start kind of with them to figure out how we got to that point. So what I'd like to talk about is, okay, the dowser comes, and then how does she mark it?
So she marked it with long wooden sticks with orange dye on the top, and one of them had like a blue tape.
Okay.
And she stuck it in the ground in the 2 spots.
2 spots that were either one would work?
Either one would work. They were probably about 10 to 15 feet apart from each other.
Okay, did you ever take pictures of where the stakes were before anybody touched them?
We took a picture of one of the stakes because one of the stakes was moved, but there was the original stake that was in the ground. And the stakes were on along a vein, so anywhere, like I thought this was hocus pocus. I went down there with 2 coat hangers and they crossed in front of me. So I thought it was going to be like Ouija board where somebody's pushing it all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of Ouija to me too, but wait, no, tell me about the hangers.
So they actually crossed right above the stick. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy, right? And then I go over where the other stick is. This is before he even came, right? And I put it over there. And then you walk along that whole line along it and they cross. But if you step over here 2 feet, nothing. They go right back out. You step over this way 2 feet, they go right back out. Once you get back on that line, they cross. But when you get over there were 2 spots that the dowser liked the best. One, when the sticks would cross, they'd go very quickly across. The other one, they went a little slower.
So then you hire him and you tell him which one you want him to dig in.
Yeah, we wanted to do on that stake.
The stake that was
the one that we thought was the better of the 2 that she recommended.
But at some point he moved the one important stake.
Yes.
Right. Why did you move the stake?
I didn't move the stake, Your Honor.
Oh, you say in your answer to the complaint that you moved the stake. What are you talking about?
I had to move the stake.
That's fine. You could tell me why you had to move the stake, but you moved the stake, right?
Okay.
I didn't make it up. You don't have to get offended. Now tell me why you moved the stake.
I removed the stake so I could build a platform for the drilling equipment.
Why are you removing a stake to build a platform?
Because the thing was, in order to work, basically, Your Honor, if we had started the job where he had put his stake, I would be where the ground dropped off, we would be standing like a 4-foot drop off. In other words, my controls, I would be down here, all right? And my controls for the back of the rig are up here. So I had to take the yard and extend it out this far, so I had a platform to stand on. And his stake was right here.
You had to build it up in order to put your machinery there in order to build.
It up in order to.
But why do you have to remove his stake to do that? That's
because I can't.
The reason I say that is because the stake is pretty damn important, right?
Correct. But we did not. Here's the thing. I come into the yard. It's like that microphone. Okay, the microphone's right there. But on both sides of it is a drop off. Behind it, the ground goes down like this. So when you bring a well drilling rig in, you can't set up like that. Because there's no place in back of you to stand.
Right, so you have to build up this part. Where I'm sitting, you have to build it up so you can put your machinery there. I understand that. Why do you have to remove the microphone to build up here?
Well, underneath there is a boulder. Where you're sitting were boulders. So in order for me to work, okay, I have to drill where the microphone is. We've made a platform where you are. We leveled it off, 5 foot, 6 foot pack. This side also a little bit. Then
so there's boulders underneath the microphone, so you have to remove the microphone because you're excavating boulders from there.
We made that side there, the platform up first. We made sure that we didn't disturb the stake until we made the platform. We had something to shoot.
I have a question. I'm sorry to interrupt you a second. I have a question. How precise a science is this? You have to drill on that 3-inch spot, or I just
not an exact science.
No, I don't mean that part. I meant if a dowser finds a spot. What's the plus or minus that what's the margin of error around it? Did they tell you anywhere 2 feet or?
Let's put it this way. If I have 2 points that make a line, I think if you went anywhere between those 2 points along that line, you would probably be safe. But when you go uphill from the line, because it's more convenient for your truck, because it's an incline, and you haven't informed the client that, oh, this might be difficult. I don't know if I can actually do it where you wanted to have it.
Because of the machinery
I have the
possess.
photographs of the area of disturbance, which is not just I had to make a little room for a platform.
Let me see your photographs.
And the stake is removed and leaning against his truck before the platform was even made in that photo right there.
That stake? He's talking about going between the two lines.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been easier.
And this is the photographs of the platform, as he refers.
Am I seeing a stake in this picture? Can you do me a favor? Will you come over here?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
That's the stake that he moved. That's the stake where it was originally placed. There's a rock
Is that
wall.
stake leaning against his truck, or is that in the spot where it was?
I don't know if it's leaning or I can't tell, but what I can tell you is that you can see how close the stake that wasn't moved, which is, he moved it after the fact on the 11th, but he hadn't moved it on the 10th, the original stake, right, which ran along this line. So I think that it was a convenience to
Are you
remove-
saying that the two stakes were parallel to the rocks?
Yes. They ran parallel to the rocks. That's the direction of the vein. And that there was by some convenience, the other stake that was 15 feet away also had to be removed on the 11th.
The other stake was never moved.
Never touched.
Ever.
We have a stake here.
Yeah.
That stake's now not there. It suddenly was taken out of the ground.
How do I see that the stake is now not there? This is a close-up of that picture, and the stake would be over here.
There's more pictures I think we have.
Okay, so you do not have pictures
I
that
do not have
shows
any
that the
more
stake was
pictures.
removed. Okay, because these are too close up. That it could just be that it's out of the range.
So the date,
So according to you, he drilled how much away from the spot you wanted him to drill?
5'6".
5'6".
Yeah.
How big is the hole that you drill?
6 inches, man.
Oh, it's small.
It's a 32-ton truck.
Oh, to me, it was like so much bigger in my head.
No,
okay,
no,
I'd
no.
love to watch this being done.
No.
So you drill, and you
You're
drill
welcome
how
anytime.
many feet down?
375.
375 feet.
Right.
All right, he was charging you by the foot.
Yes.
All right, so according to you, when he moved it, he didn't put it back in the same spot.
Correct.
Go back.
Thank you, sir.
And according to you, you moved it, but you know where the spot was and you put it back in its spot. And I need you to address my concern that you moved the stake at all. According to you, he admitted drilling 18 inches away from first he said 6 inches away, maybe it was 6 inches away.
Yeah.
And then later afterwards he said, well, maybe it was 18 inches away, but no more. And according to you, it's 5 feet away.
Yes.
Did you ever tell him that it was 18 inches away?
I did, yes.
And what I'm trying
Courts
to...
in recess. I've heard enough. Courts in recess.
All
Please
rise.
Bring everything back to my chambers.
Okay,
Thank
yes,
you.
absolutely.
So if the plaintiff is right that it was only 18 inches off, would 18 inches make a difference? What do you think?
No.
Why not? I mean, would 18 inches make a difference? I mean, it's that much.
No.
How much would make a difference? Because the defendants are saying 5 feet. How much would make a difference?
2 feet.
But not 18 inches.
No, 24 inches.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, now we're going to get back to the bottom of this thing. Are you the Queen of Guatemala or are you not?
Yes,
I know you're saying that, but she's saying...
Yes, she is.
What's going on here? The Queen of Guatemala is just not walking around here.
No, she's just like, she just feels like she doesn't want to tell it, like to reveal it because it's to not do that. You don't do that.
I don't know. I don't know. Going inside the courtroom.
You do understand that the only evidence you have that he's 5 feet off is you saying he's 5 feet off. Why, if there's a dowser and there's water down there still, supposedly, why wouldn't you, in preparation for court, have the dowser come back out and mark the spot and say, and give me an affidavit or come and testify, because you're local, come and testify that that was 5 feet away from my spot.
The
Why don't I
dowser
have
lives in
that?
New Hampshire and lives in Florida.
Your dowser?
Yes.
Why don't you get another dowser? I mean, you were able to get her there that day. So,
Right. She was in New
you know
Hampshire
why?
before she
See,
went down south.
I'm very uncomfortable with having to rely, because like I said, it's either he doesn't know what he's doing and he's just drilling willy-nilly wherever he wants, because 18 inches difference doesn't make a difference. That's according to all the drillers. Because in the break, I spoke to other drillers. That's what I did to try to figure this out. Okay, so if it's 18 inches, it's not a big deal. 5 feet is going to make a difference. But then I realized the only way I know it's 5 feet is because you say so, and you only say so after he doesn't hit water.
I'm not going by the stake that's in the ground.
How did your bill go from $3,300 to your lawsuit of $4,362?
I was trying to be reasonable with him because, in other words, there's a dispute. So, rather than go through, he said I was off, okay? So I was trying to be a good guy and knock some off the bill, basically.
So you sent one invoice on the 11th and one invoice on the 12th, and there's a $1,000 difference between them?
Correct.
And in the, no, they're both dated 9/12. They're actually both dated 9/12. One is for $3,300 and one is for $4,300.
Your Honor, I drilled a dry hole.
Would you hear me?
Yep.
Both of your invoices are dated 9/12. One is for $3,300, one is for $1,000 more than that. And the one that's for $3,300 says well depth is 390 feet, a figure nobody's talked about, and it's still only $3,300. Just stop. I've reached the end of my well. It all comes down to this. He has a burden of proving his case. You have a burden of proving your defense. I'm going to assume that he moved that stake maybe, at plus or minus 18 inches, which I now know makes no difference. The only way you win is if you can persuade me that it's 5 feet off. There's a very easy way to persuade me, and that's bring the person who put the stake in. Or have an affidavit from the person who put the stake in. Bring another person who does that, who says, oh, look, I'm getting water right here, 5 feet away from that hole. All the things that you didn't do. So I find that you have not established your defense, which you do have the burden of proving, and I find in favor of the plaintiff and the amount of the lower invoice, which is $3,300. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Well, unfortunately, the defendant comes up dry again here in the courtroom. Step over and tell me what's your reaction to the outcome here.
Well, at least I was consistent with my story, and I didn't say what I said, and then retracted and repeated and retracted. And
all right, you got water on the place? You got water?
No.
Still don't have water?
No, but wanted to settle this up.
All right. Head right down that way. All right, so step on in here and tell me what's your feeling on the outcome here, sir?
Well, I'm sorry we had to go. The
driller?
Yeah. I'm sorry we had to go to court on it, and I don't like the fact they don't have any water in any of those wells she's got there, but I drilled where they told me to drill. They say I didn't.
This dozer thing, right? Walking around with the sticks and looking for water. There's a little bit of hocus pocus involved with this thing.
Well, a lot of people do it, but you got just as much chance of hitting water and
with a Ouija board.
With a Ouija board, correct.
Harvey? So this case required expert testimony because there's no way the defendants can prove what they want to prove without an expert. It's just their opinion, and they're not experts, and that's why they lost. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Rochelle. She says she agreed to rent a room in the defendant's house, but before she could move in, something seemed off about the guy. He got her all skeeved out. She told him she changed her mind about living there, and he told her he'd refund the money she gave him. But obviously he hasn't. The guy's scamming her, and she's not about to let her hard-earned $400 be stolen, so she's suing. This is the defendant, Stanley Jones. He says the plaintiff wanted to rent a room in his house with a girlfriend and gave him the money to hold the place. A few days later, she changed her mind, started threatening him, even called the cops. If that nasty woman thinks he's going to return her money the way she acted towards him, she's even crazier than he thought. He's accused of standing firm.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says there was something really weird about her landlord, so she bailed and now can't get her money back. But the defendant says the plaintiff's the weirdo, threatening him like a criminal. It's the case of security CSI.
Okay. Rochelle, you've asked us to refer to you only by your first name?
Yes.
You are suing Stanley Jones?
Yes.
For $400 that you paid in a deposit for a room that you changed your mind on?
Yes.
Okay, what happened?
I went on Craigslist July 12th. So I'm trying to get a room for rent. I was in a difficult situation. Got Stanley Jones' number, give him a call. He said, hey, I could come over today. Okay. I had a roommate with me. We both went. When we went over there, Mr. Jones had quite a good conversation with us. Think it's cool enough. Okay, we went to his house. I waited for like 2 hours.
Is this an apartment building or a house?
It's a
What is
private
this?
house, but he's renting rooms, all the rooms that's in the house.
How many rooms are you renting?
I was renting like 3 rooms.
How many rooms was he renting?
I saw like 4 because he had already 2 tenants, one upstairs, one downstairs. One of the guy had a brace on his feet. I told him I'm not comfortable staying with that guy.
Yeah, but when did you decide you weren't comfortable? After you gave him the deposit and said, I'm perfectly comfortable?
No, when I gave him the deposit, the Friday, the Saturday, I was going through a lot of stuff between that weekend, moving back and forth, going to work at the same time. The Saturday when I came home from work, I take a look at the receipt that I have. I realized that I didn't sign a lease. Then
Right.
I think to myself, something is not right.
What wasn't right?
Because I didn't sign a lease.
Okay,
I
so you
called
changed your
him-
mind and you
Right.
called him and you said, give me my money back, and he said no.
He said, oh, I just met in an accident. My car is totaled. I'm going to take $75 out of your money. I said, how is that my issue? Later that same evening, I went over there at 6 o'clock. He chose to give me $325. I said,
did you
what?
take the $325?
No. I said, what? Why are you giving me $325?
Why were you taking $75 out?
I actually was charging her $25 per day for the 3 days that we had signed the agreement for her to rent the room.
Okay.
But she didn't want to even be billed
Was there
for 3
some
days.
agreement that she signed? Just
I
curious?
gave her a money receipt
okay,
for
the
her
receipt
money.
for the $400.
Yes, because actually I was charging her $800 a month.
So why wouldn't you return her money back? Because you felt that you were entitled to those 3 days?
No, I wanted to return her money back. She wanted me to give her all of it back and not deduct the 3 day
And you
fee.
think that that was fair. And then, so did you end up re-renting that to somebody else?
After a while.
Okay, I have a question for you. What kind of home do you own this home?
My cousin owns it.
What is it zoned as? Are you able to just rent out rooms like that?
No. What it is my cousin was on vacation overseas. So she asked me to do certain things for her to get certain things done. That's it.
Meaning?
Rent this room out. If I could get a good person that would be willing to rent the room,
okay,
rent it out.
How many rooms were being rented out in the house?
3.
Were you living there?
Yes.
So there are 4 rooms then? 4 different people living in there?
Yes.
What's it zoned as?
A private house.
Mm-hmm. Were you guys sharing a kitchen?
Yes. She actually was going to be moving in right next door to my bedroom. That's why I kind of, politicked with her and see if she was a good person. And they kept complaining that they was homeless. She said that her girlfriend has a job. She has a job. Because I sat there and I said, let's do the numbers. Because men lie, women lie, the numbers don't. How are you going to pay this?
Back it up, Junior. What'd you just say?
Okay, who lies more, men or women? That was just said in court. Who lies more, men or women?
Men.
You think men?
Men.
Who's saying women? Anybody?
No.
Men don't have to wear makeup.
Oh, when it masks the truth. It masks the truth going inside the courtroom.
I said men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'll take that.
So let's just,
That's true. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't.
Because she said her and her girlfriend were working together. So we
And?
sat down and did the numbers and did the math.
All right, here's the deal, though. Well, you can't agree to do something, and whether it's in writing or not, if it's not in writing, all that means is that it's a month to month, and then change your mind, and then there be no consequence to you at all. Like, why do you get to, everybody else puts a deposit, and then they have to say goodbye to the deposit. The guy was kind of reasonable. All he wanted to do was keep $75 of it. I mean, did you think this one through before you sued in court and didn't take the $325? Because why does he have to return your deposit? What makes your deposit fully refundable? Does your receipt say that and I didn't see it?
Can you take a look at the receipt, please?
Yeah, does it say fully refundable? I doubt it. They never do, but okay.
He didn't put refundable on it, but I made my decision
That's
within
fine.
2 days. I didn't.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Other people have consequences for entering into contracts, but you want your entering into that contract and breaching it to be consequence-free. And that's not how life works. And he was actually being very reasonable, just asking to keep 3 days, rent.
Yeah.
Somebody else might say, no, I want, how are you renting this out? By the week?
Month to month.
Month to month. I mean,
That's a week. If you take a look at the receipt, please. Secondly,
what does the receipt say about month to month, whether it's month to month or week to
it's
week?
supposed to be week to week.
How does the receipt say that? It says 7/12 to 8/12. That's a month.
Right, that's what he put it, that I was supposed to give him the $800. But I was supposed to give him $600 the following week, which would have made it $1,000. I could not come up with $406 at the end of the week. That's impossible.
Yeah.
So I didn't even wait for a week before I explained myself
I
to him.
understand. Do you understand, though, what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
It's not personal. It's just the law.
Right.
I feel bad for you because I think you made a bad decision. Are you willing to give her back some of it? How soon were you able to re-rent it?
Kind of took me almost 30 days to re-rent it because I just didn't try to.
Kind of really. How really did it take you?
Not almost.
What do you
30
think is a fair resolution of this?
Whatever you say. I'm with you. I love you.
You love me. Okay.
I watch you every day.
You love me too, right?
Yep.
I love you.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Let's talk about, was it $200 a week or $800 a month for real?
It was $200 a week.
Okay.
But the agreement was that they give it to me all in 1 month because I knew this was going to happen anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to allow you to keep 200 of the 400.
Okay.
And I'm going to order you to return 200 of the 400 to her. And
problem.
I'm going to charge her for the week. And typically even that much doesn't happen. Because typically people's agreements are month to month. All right. That's my judgment. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Well, so let's find out what the plaintiff thinks about getting back, well, half of what you sued for. Fair resolution?
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else?
Not much comment.
How about the way he treated you? You have problems with that, or was it just this a financial thing?
Well, I didn't really get to explain myself, the rest of it, which he discriminated me, but...
Meaning what?
Well, I didn't get to, exercise it in a courtroom,
Say
which
it now.
I
What was
don't want to follow through.
All right, right down this way with Officer McIntosh then, all right? All right, come on in here. Satisfied how this ruling came down?
Excellent. Can't be mad. The believers, one more. That's all I could say.
The believers.
That's it. Keys to the city. It's time. We won.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Mom.
Anything else?
That's it. Be blessed.
That's
Have
it?
a good day. You too.
All right, Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, so, last time to get to the bottom of this thing. Who is she?
The Queen of Guatemala.
No. Who is she? Tell me the truth.
The Queen of Guatemala.
Okay, if you really, well, okay, then what are you if you're not the Queen of Guatemala? You gotta help me out here, man.
A girl.
Okay, I know you're a girl. You won't say what you are. You won't say what you are. You're just nodding. If you know this woman, go to peoplescourt.com. We want to know who she is.